Hi folks, here's the second half of the bird feeder. As you can see there, I've got it completed and I've got it all siliconed up and taped, and the silicones are currently drying. Now I've used for the edges, for the perch, simply two pieces of water hose which is split down the middle, then pushed over the edge of the glass and then siliconed in place on either side. That's the same on both sides. As you can see, the this half of the lid actually is the one that lifts up, so I can actually get this glass tray that I've made, that's currently drying as well, and that fits in a nice slide fit and covers these bottom holes so the squirrel can't scratch any feed out of there if it was on the floor. So these two sides come up to the first top of the first set of rings, so that keeps the squirrel out. I mean, there might be little scraps that you can actually get which is on the outside, but you can't get on the inside because you can't get through these rings, 1.5 inch diameter, which are too small for the squirrel to get through. In fact, you can't even get his head through and get his teeth onto the feed because it's too far down. So on this side, you can see the silicone, blobs of silicone on one side. This side is completely glued solid along the bottom and along the sides of the rings here, and the rings are actually silicone together as well, which is tremendously strong. For the opening, I can't actually show at the moment, but at the top there, what I've used, I had some leftover glass tube which is 7mm OD and 4mm ID, which is quite strong stuff, you know, quite durable, borosilicate glass, which I've used to make the hinge at the top. As you can see there, there's one piece, two pieces, and then the third piece, and then inside there I've got a stainless steel threaded bar, which is a semi-slide fit inside this tube so as it won't bend. So glued on this side, and this side, so it acts like a proper hinge. And then to hold everything in place, I've got this nice piece of brass sheet that I had spare, which will sit under there and hold the edge of the glass, stop any the wind getting under it, etc. And it'll actually support the glass as well. In the middle, that's quite a sturdy catch. So the bottom, if I go down underneath, you can actually see it consists of 3 pieces of plywood, glued and screwed and turned on the lathe, and in the bottom of there, if I lift it gently, you can see a 38mm hole, which it'll slide over the pull, which is going to be this aluminium pole here, which I will fasten to a fence post outside, so that'll sit on top of that. There's not a lot more to it really than what you see here. Now water may enter, but I wouldn't imagine there'd be much water entering if, you know, unless it's a really heavy downpour. If that's the case, I'll just put a piece of duct tape across the top just to seal these open joints on these two halves. So we'll have to see. If that happens, I'll put a bit of duct tape on, then it'll be completely waterproof. And then if any water does get in and goes onto the base, it can't get into the feed because this is completely siliconed and watertight, so the food should stay dry. I will do a hose pipe test on it. I'll put the spray and I'll direct it downwards onto the top to see just how waterproof it is, but I think it'll be 99% waterproof. So that's the basic mock-up of it, all made of glass, 4mm glass from the reclaimed double glazing unit. And I think I did mention earlier, the DG units, the outside pane is always toughened, so never attempt to cut that. It will scribe using decent glass cutters. I'll show you what the ones I have. I have the Toyo TC21V, which is a steerable, you can steer around corners with that one. We have the standard Toyo TC10, I think it'll focus in on there, TC10 head. That one was, again, what did I say it was? TC21V. And my old M700 Mitsubishi. These are the Rolls Royces, but I don't think you can get them anymore. It's got the Mitsubishi 3-star tungsten head on that one. So there's 3 good glass cutters if anybody wants to buy a decent glass cutter. Yeah, so I've got it all taped up at the moment until the silicone hardens, and then I will take all the tape off and put the feed in and see how the birds take to it. They should like it once they're getting towards autumn and winter time, when they're getting a bit hungry. They most definitely will go in it then, I would think. But these will help, because it would have been a slippery landing without that piece of pipe on there, which is grippy. It's like a rubbery texture to that one. So I think that's about it. I'll give you one last look around. This side's fixed, this side opens, and that's silicone down along the bottom as well, and up the back of the one set of rings along the bottom, so it should be tremendously strong. Anybody that's made glass aquariums will know how strong this stuff is, silicone. So I'll give you a look at the hinge along the top there. One last look. It's in 3 halves, 1 half there. It's in 2/3, 3/3 basically, and quite durable stuff. Should last quite a long time if it's not abused. So that's I've still got that to screw under there once everything's set. That's the bird feeder. So if anybody's got any questions, hit that subscribe button, and be very grateful. So I will help you if you need any questions. Thank you again for looking. Bye for now.